What's up internet? Today's video is about maximizing your potential in the gym. So if you want to reduce fat, build muscle and develop an athletic type physique, then you must train. Now this sounds pretty obvious. The problem we have is people just don't train. They just exercise. Exercising looks a little something like this. You arrive at a gym. You have a quick recce, you spot some equipment you think would be good to use and would give you a relatively good workout. And you use that equipment. This is about as advanced as most people go. This can work, especially in the short term, but eventually you'll need to get a little bit more specific. Training, on the other hand, looks like this. You have a set goal, a set plan to get you to that goal, and you know exactly what you need to do for each and every session. You know the exact reps and sets you need to do. You know how much weight you need to lift and how much weight you lifted last time. You have a nutrition program that is going to fuel your workouts and optimize your performance. Just simply exercising is fine if you are looking to maintain. However, this video is more directed towards people who are wanting to change their physique and essentially take everything to the next level. The main thing you need to look at when it comes to training is progressive overload. Now, I've done videos about progressive overload before. This is necessary when increasing strength, building muscle and wanting to lose fat. As the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolic rate will be, because your body will need to fuel that new founded muscle. What is progressive overload, I hear you ask? Progressive overload requires the gradual increase in volume, intensity, frequency, or time. When exercising, your body will adapt to a certain point, but if you want to make further development, then you need to exert greater demand on the body by training hard and training smart. If you don't progressively overload the muscles by forcing them to do more than they are accustomed to, they have no reason to make further adaptations. Simply put, your body will not develop unless it needs to. If you want to start training hard and training and not just exercising, you'll need to start tracking pretty much everything. To effectively overload the muscles, you need to implement these simple methods. Number one would be to increase the load. That's pretty straightforward. So increase the load or resistance. Increasing the resistance is the most common and effective way of progressively overloading the muscle. So say 1 week you do 4 sets of 8 reps on the back squat using 100 kilos. And the next week you do the same amount of sets, but you increase the load up to 110 kg. This is the simplest form of progressively overloading. Progressively increasing the load in order to exert greater demand on the muscles. Number two would be to increase the reps. So instead of adding an extra 10 kg to the back squat, you could instead do 10 reps of 4 sets instead of the initial 8 reps. Note that with this method you are limited, as you do want to train within certain rep ranges specific to your goal. For example, if you were training for strength, you would not want to keep increasing the reps until you were hitting like 15 plus reps. As you'd then be moving into like muscular endurance, and obviously that's not strength specific. Just a couple of like rep ranges for you to note down. Strength would be like 4 to 8 reps. Hypertrophy, like muscle building, would be like 8 to 15 reps, and then muscular endurance is like 15 reps plus. Number three would be to increase the volume. Volume is simply sets multiplied by reps multiplied by resistance. You can increase the demand on your body and muscle groups by adding more exercises, reps or sets. So instead of adding 100 kg to the back squat for 4 sets of 8 reps, you can do 5 sets of 8 reps. Alternatively, you can stick with the same weight, reps and sets, but add in another exercise that targets the same muscle group. For example, you could superset your back squats with lunges. That is, of course, if you're feeling quite brave. Number four would be to increase the frequency. This is very simple and an effective approach, especially when targeting specific muscle groups that you want to particularly develop. Simply all you need to do is train more frequently. This approach is obviously limited, as you can't just keep training more and more frequently, as you'll end up training every single day, and not everyone wants to train every single day. I know I don't want to train every single day. I haven't got the time to. Training needs to enrich your life and not take over it. Number 5 would be to reduce the rest between sets. This is one of my personal favorites, especially with busy clients who have limited time to train, as we can't necessarily just keep increasing the volume frequency every single time. The only drawback is if you are training specifically for strength gains, as it's vitally important that you have adequate rest between sets. So, in summary, the human body will not, I repeat, not develop unless it is forced to. You need to force your muscles to develop if you wish for them to develop.